Welcome to another episode. Married 39 years, retired, 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and a perfectly good life on land. We're trading our comfortable routine for an adventure while we're still young enough to climb a mast and old enough to know better. This is your Captain Tiny. And I'm your first mate, Bubbles. And this is our saga aboard Tiny Bubbles. Follow the journey with all its triumphs, laughs, and challenging moments. And be inspired to dream about your adventure. Hey everyone, I'm really excited about this episode that takes us from Fort Pierce to Brunswick, Georgia, by way of St. Augustine. But I have to give you a little disclaimer before you watch. My main camera that I typically film on was broke. And so I did most of the filming on my phone camera. But I was trying out a new lapel mic, which turned out to just not give me very good audio. And I filmed a whole lot of stuff before I realized that the audio was bad. And so please give me grace as you watch this video. I don't typically use terrible audio, but to make it easier to understand, I've added captions to this episode so you can read along when it's hard to hear. So please don't write us off. Just follow along and enjoy the story anyway. And I have my new camera back, and so I won't be making that mistake again. Thanks for watching. It's time to set sail. We need to get the boat out of Florida. We did look at maybe keeping it here through September so we could finish all the projects for the house to get it ready to rent. But that was going to be a hefty premium that we've opted not to pay. So this morning we are going to walk to the boat. Luckily it's just about a half a mile away, 3/4 of a mile away, and fuel it up and start making our way towards Georgia. I think we're going to do it in 2 legs, maybe 3. And excited to get back on the boat for a little bit. Did you feel like we had enough time in the month of June to get the majority of things done that you were hoping to get done on the boat?
Boat projects always take twice as long to do, so I thought I'd be able to put the toilets in just a few days, and that was not true. And we still have quite a few projects to do. No, I didn't feel like we had enough time. Sorry.
And I don't feel like we slacked. I feel like we really plugged away at it. But in some cases, it was waiting for parts, waiting for supplies to be able to do the work. So, I think we got far enough along. We have things on board the boat that we need to complete the other 2 toilets. Though Dale did make some great modifications while he was waiting for those parts.
But we've also had the opportunity to probably make some decisions about what we want. We got a bunch of stuff off of the boat that we, weren't using. So it's nice. We freed up some space. We made some valuable storage space. So the boat feels a little less cluttered to us now. We still have we have to take all of our stuff that we have now and maybe re-inventory it and change it a little bit.
Yeah, nothing's inventoried right now.
Anyway, we're getting there.
Yeah, and even little flips, like I had bought some cookware for the boat to be able to take off what Dave and Linda had. It was fine, but I'd already bought in some stuff, so it's nice to kind of flip some of those things over and personalize it to us.
Yeah.
And that feels nice, feels homey, and so we feel like we're setting off with some projects completed and some upgrades made, but honestly, I feel like we're setting off with a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of understanding, more of a grasp on how the boat works and what we need. And so, yeah, I'm not trying to get cocky or too proud, but it does feel nice to feel. We've already talked about the fuel dock. We know where it is and what it looks like, and we're going to approach that at just before slack tide and get fueling done. So we're starting to talk the language and think the thoughts and communicate better about all that. So we'll see you on the water. So nothing I've tried to film has really gone right this morning. But that's okay, because everything else is going pretty well. We got out of our Marina slip. We had to make our way out into the inlet and tie up at our fuel dock over here. Which, to be honest, my knees were shaking, but I did about as well as I could do. I do think the line handler still had to do a lot of muscling to get the boat secure, but here we are. Now the rain is coming down, like really coming down. Of course, on the day we decide to leave Fort Pierce, we're gonna get some storms and the current's changing, but we can drive into the current with this big old boat. We don't, but docking it would have been tricky. So it's all gone pretty well. Few little mistakes getting out of the slip. Dale left a line tying us up. So we had to jump off and hurry and get that line. We were drifting a little bit in between the pilings, which felt a little nerve-wracking, but no panic. We did it. In fact, I think onlookers might think that we actually know what we're doing, and I guess at some point we're going to have to say, even when we make mistakes, we know what we're doing. Hopefully, if we make a mistake, we know why we made the mistake. So we might not be back to Fort Pierce for a couple weeks. The boat might not be back to Fort Pierce till November. So we're thinking we're going to do an overnight sail to get to St. Augustine, maybe stay a day there, and then on our way to Brunswick. Well, it does seem that we are the kings and queens of abort the mission. The thunderstorm hung over the Fort Pierce Inlet and lightning strikes were near. And so we decided, kind of at the inspiration of our fellow blue water cruising boat friends who left the inlet about a week ago, trying to align their passage to St. Augustine with a rocket launch. And they got some epic video of being out on the water watching a rocket launch. So we decided, because the weather was crappy, if we just come out and anchor and stay put, we could leave the following day, 1 o'clock the following day, and be near Cape Canaveral when the rocket launches on the tomorrow's the 27th. It will launch on the 28th at 1:30 a.m. So that's pretty cool. And we are off, going through our first set of channel markers, leaving the Fort Pierce Inlet. St. Augustine is the oldest city in the U.S. and is 194 miles from Fort Pierce. Sailing update for Tiny Bubbles. We left today when we expected to leave. There was a band of storms that developed on shore. Luckily, we were able to go offshore enough to stay outside the belt of those storms and really have had no incidents. Water's a little bit rolly, but that's fine. One of the things we were excited about is there's a launch at 12:30 a.m. and we were going to be out on the water to see it. What we didn't realize is there's actually a gigantic restricted zone around Cape Canaveral. That's
just a hazard zone. They're calling it a restricted area this time.
Anyway, we cannot continue our course as planned because it has us there in the restricted zone. What's worse is that the restricted zone begins 2 hours before the launch. So that's 10 p.m. We can't even, there's no place for us to go. So we're gonna bob around. We're now going very slow, 2 knots towards the restricted zone, hoping we're outside of the restricted zone around 10. And then I guess we just bob around for a couple hours. Hopefully the skies will clear so we can actually see the launch, because right now it's very cloudy.
Thank cancel this up first.
Yeah, they could even scrub the launch. And then I guess after the launch is over, then we can carry on. But we're not going to now arrive in St. Augustine before dark tomorrow, as we expected. So we're just going to have to come up with another plan. You don't know what you don't know until you know it, and it's not the ideal circumstances to figure it out.
Coast Guard Cutter Harold Miller. Coast Guard Cutter Harold Miller. This is Coast Guard Sector Jacksonville on Channel 16, over.
It's a gloomy, cloudy, not really stormy-ish day. Thank goodness it has not been. Lots of wind and we're gonna bob around. I also need to go down below because we need to continue our watches as planned. I need to do 10 to 2. So I need to go downstairs and try to sleep, so I'm ready for that at 10 o'clock.
Coast Guard Safety Broadcast, Florida, Atlantic Ocean, Cape Canaveral, hazard area, listen channel 22 Alpha, 1022, 157.1 megahertz, out.
A couple miles away, so it will take a short while. We're now 15 seconds away. Next up will be the activation of the rainbirds, a sort of deluge system that will happen at the base of the vehicle, which can be obscured a bit by the bushes in the way. Next should be that engine ignition and liftoff of Falcon 9 and Starlink 10-34. Go Starlink V2. Let's go.
The Starlink launch. I was worried I wouldn't get to see it because of the clouds, but wow.
Wow.
Oh, now it's in those clouds. Oh, now we hear the rumble. Whoa. Guten Morgen. It is the morning of the 28th at 6 a.m. in the morning. Got some good sleep between 2 and 6. And so now we're pressing forward to St. Augustine. Wasn't too bad, just bobbing and waiting for the launch to happen, which we did get some footage. It was very cloudy, so we lost the launch behind the clouds. But even that was kind of cool. And we sort of saw the second stage flying back to its drone boat. Yeah, but our friends got a super cool video when they were making this passage. So I'll have to show you a bit of that.
Jack! It just lit up like the sun was coming up. They do exist.
They do exist.
Well, that's cool. God, it looks like a fireball from here. It's not the sun coming up on the ocean yet.
We have 10 hours still to go, I think, to get to St. Augustine, which is wild. You know, we can drive there in no time. But the water is absolute glass. Absolute glass. Waiting for the sun to come up. What do you think you're doing in here?
Figure out why. Sometimes it charges and sometimes it doesn't.
I feel like everything on our boat has to be charged, which can be a good thing. So we have a gazillion charging cords that don't last forever.
Well, the problem with this device is that, again, it's like Apple standard. This one's got its own proprietary charging, which, if this cord doesn't work, I can't swap out another cable. It's like, and if this cord doesn't work, then this doesn't work.
Right.
My wife will start yelling at me.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's our communication device when we're doing our jobs. So
We can't.
yelling does become how you have to hear each other, and then it escalates your tensions in your body, and then it's hard to stay calm, and so I guess we need new cords.
Maybe I can figure out a way to clean it. I don't know.
Well, they're new. I would check and see if there's a warranty
Yeah.
possibility with them, because that's not okay. Same with my Osmo Pocket 3. Won't charge. It's dead. It is under warranty, and I did buy the care package for it, so when I get home, I need to remember to take it with me and get a replacement, because I use this camera quite a lot. And then the underwater camera, we've just lost altogether. Hopefully not lost, misplaced. But now, it's time for some cherries. I love cherries in season, and these are a good snack. We have a hitchhiker. I'm actually not sure what kind of bird this is. He took a very healthy dump on our solar panels. I don't think he should have done that. This hitchhiker, who seemed entertained by my bubbles, dropped in and dropped on tiny bubbles. Its name, brown booby, comes from the Spanish word bobo, meaning fool, because of their sometimes clumsy landing on passing boats. The brown booby is a skilled diver and strong flyer and can be seen far offshore. Every good voyage needs a booby aboard, and this booby rode along for nearly 2 hours. We're coming up to the St. Augustine Inlet. There's a little bit of a storm threatening to settle over. There's a bridge. Not sure if the camera will see it right up there. That's where we're going to anchor. Hopefully next to the boat One Life. Well, we made it to anchor before the storm. Thank goodness. So tonight is a treat. We have some friends aboard. And a cook, Eduardo.
Yep.
That's your name. Tell us what you brought.
Also, I brought Brazilian cachaça.
Cachaça.
Yes. So
Okay.
we're gonna make some caipirinhas.
I love it. What else do you need besides that?
I need sugar.
Sugar?
Yeah.
I have sugar.
And ice.
Ice. I have some ice.
That's it.
We're perfect.
And we're gonna make some picanhas on the grill.
What is the best glass for this? Because I don't. Okay.
Small glass.
Yeah, I have small glasses. Good.
Just
Hey, Jack. You're bacheloring it.
I am for a little bit.
Yeah. And so Eduardo lives here in St. Augustine, and you guys are thinking about this might be a place you would want some land life. Yeah.
We've talked about buying property elsewhere that never worked out, so we'll see.
Well, you know.
We like it here so far, everything we've seen.
Dreaming is where it starts, so
That's right.
good.
Never say never, you know. I
Right?
live on a sailboat and I never thought I would, so here you go.
The
Yeah.
tour guide was good.
Yeah, we got a great tour guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you end up here?
Here's where I learned how to sail. So
It is?
I was
Okay.
living in Orlando, and my dream was to live on a boat.
Yeah.
And so I took the ASA classes here at St.
Okay.
Augustine. Just fell in love with the city.
And your wife and kids were
Yep.
on board with the
On board,
dream,
yeah.
and
Yep.
cool.
They're just-
And you've not bought a boat yet?
Not yet. I'm just waiting to sell a house.
Okay.
As soon as I sell the house.
And do you know what boat you want?
A 45 or a 48. So
Yeah.
both of boats are here.
Yeah. Leopard specifically?
Leopard,
Yeah.
yes.
And what about the leopard is an attraction for you?
Oh,
Yep.
The front door.
Absolutely. I mean, hands down for us, it was the front door. It's a safety component. It's a breezeway.
For the kids, they don't need to go around.
Right.
They can go straight to the front. So
Yeah.
That's my big
How old are your kids?
13 and 11.
Okay. Yeah.
2 girls.
2 girls. Nice. Cool. Well, we're going to make some food and have a good time tonight. Looking forward to it. All right. So what are you preparing?
So this is the picanha.
No, I can lift mine all the
Come
way
that
up.
way.
Tilt it back up away.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it's very, very famous on the Brazilian steakhouse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then you season it and
Just rock
grill
salt.
it. Rock salt. That's
That's
it.
it. And you're gonna taste it.
So it's the cut of meat that makes it special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I think that little fat over there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Good. So nice. Brazilian style steaks being made by a professional on board the boat.
In the process of looking for.
Welcome to St. Augustine.
Yes, thank you. Wow, what a treat.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel called Sou Gracia.
always like, that's
My last name Gracia. And
But it's in Portuguese.
it's in Portuguese.
Is it around your sailing dream or?
It's more around our adventures. So
Okay.
We have 18 days on RV trip. With
Oh,
the family.
nice. Yeah.
Now we're gonna start to do the sailboat.
Is that been a U.S.?
in US.
yeah.
We went all the way from Las Vegas to Grand Canyon and Yellowstone and came back to Las Vegas.
Perfect. Yeah. Everybody enjoyed it? Yeah. Yeah. It's. I think that's a good segue into living on the water.
So when did you start flying?
Oh, I was 21 years old, probably.
Nice.
22 years old.
Nice. Yeah.
So just last year.
Just last year. But has been.
We are putting the dinghy down. And we are going to shore. Not that I'm desperate like I was once upon a time, but the bridge out there we're going to go on the other side of, and there's a dinghy dock. I think it's $12 a day or something. From there we can walk into St. Augustine. Gonna eat a breakfast or lunch, whatever the time allowed is. St. Augustine was founded in 1565 and is the oldest continuously inhabited European established settlement in the continental U.S.
So, we are really, really good sailors. I mean, we really look ahead, we look at all the possibilities. Oh, wait. No, I guess we don't. Here we are with no raincoat.
We've been in St. Augustine all day. Came for breakfast. We just had dinner.
3:30 in the afternoon. And
Also had a
it's
little
raining.
stop by a brewery. We had lots of opportunity to get back to the boat before all of this started happening. No lightning, no thunder. That's a good thing. But we either sit here and wait it out.
That's exactly what we're doing because it's got to quit sometime.
Or we just gotta go get wet sometime to get back to the boat. Because we're getting up at 4 a.m. to leave this area for Brunswick, Georgia. Which means we'd like to do a lot of our departure checklist tonight. But we
by the
can't
time
do
we
it
get back to the
sitting
boat, it's
here.
gonna be sunny and clear. And we're actually gonna get wet going back there, and then it's gonna stop raining. You know, that's the way it goes.
But we have foul weather here. We have plenty of it.
Yeah.
I even have just a
not with us.
jacket that I should carry with me all the time.
We just don't have it with us. Doesn't do us much good.
Doesn't
if
do
it's
us
not
much
with
good.
us.
Does not do us much good.
Yeah, we're really good at planning.
The next morning, we got up bright and early to travel 112 miles to Brunswick, Georgia. morning. The sun has not yet come up. It's pretty much champagne motoring. We're not sailing, but beautiful conditions. Speed over ground, speed through the water, same. Our heading, it's funny, 6666. We're going 6 degrees, that's our heading. Our speed over ground is 6. Our speed through the water is 6. We're in 50 feet of water. Our apparent wind is 4.6, and our actual wind is 6.2. We got the 6s going on this morning. There aren't too many bridges that this boat can go under due to its 70-foot mast. But we are pulling up to Brunswick, Georgia. Jekyll Island behind us. I forget what's to the side of us. But there is a bridge that we are getting ready to go under. Probably one of the few we will ever go under. It's pretty exciting.
Alright, this bridge is 165 feet tall. Don't think we're gonna touch.
So it's our first morning at the Marina. We're trying to get it set up appropriately with lines to secure everything. We got a lovely greeting this morning with a packet of special stuff to welcome us here, which was super nice. And now we're getting a little assistance to get the boat tied down properly.
Classic problem with mounting is I throw it and I kind of hang up on something and I was like, oops.
Takes practice, dear.
Takes practice.
Give yourself a break. All right, so there's an art to it. We made it to Brunswick, Georgia. I love Georgia. I forgot how much I love Georgia. So pretty. And generally, we're out of hurricane zone. There's tiny bubbles right out there. Yeah, so the boat's going to be here for a couple of months. Right there at that spot, which we got into pretty well. It's a big marina. They have free laundry, showers. Apparently they have free happy hour 3 days a week. Free. There's courtesy bikes over there in that shed. Lots of catamarans here. But it's a beautiful, peaceful 2nd of July evening. This little curious cat is entertaining. I'd love to pet it, but I don't think it's gonna let me. It's okay, kitty. Keep chasing your bugs by the big anchor. Super cute. The Brunswick firework display happens right there. And we're on a boat on an end cap, so we will get a front row seat to the 4th of July fireworks. Who wants to join me? So we are on Dock 0 at the very end. Apparently the least desirable spot to have at Brunswick Landing Marina. But it was available, and they had a cancellation, and we're happy to be here. But for tonight, I think we scored one of the best seats in the house. We have the most unobstructed view of the fireworks about to happen. They're gonna happen right over there. There ain't nothing between me and them. Hardly even any parts of my boat. And we were just out there where the craziness is happening. People everywhere. Actually, people kind of stalking our gate, trying to get in behind us. I don't think we let anyone in. Not that I'm opposed. I would probably invite all of them to just come sit on our boat. What's the harm? But then I have to share my dessert and my wine. As it is, here we are. What do you think?
That doesn't say.
Another fun fact. We just spent, I don't know, an hour on a Leopard 50. The very Leopard 50 of Donald and Claire Bowles, who gave us our free mattress that we just retrofitted. And we didn't know they were here.
And they are friends, and those two are friends with Mary Lynn from
Blue Water Cruising. And all of them from Columbus.
It's so funny how it's like a very small world we live in.
And we were with Mary Lynn down on the street and downtown Brunswick for the 4th of July. We're getting our drink on. But we're also just walking and enjoying Mary Lynn. We just met her recently. We're both at the same marina, part of Blue Water Cruising. The community's awesome. I followed her to her boat to take a boat tour, and she said, I have another Columbus friend right over there. His name is Donald Bowles. I'm like, Donald Bowles? I know Donald Bowles. I follow him on Facebook, and he gave me a mattress. And I said, is he here? She said, I don't think so. And then I saw this pretty lady walking her dog, and I'm like, no, I think he's here because that's Mrs. Bowles. I didn't know her first name. So I walked up to her and said, excuse me, are you Mrs. Bowles? She said, yes. I'm like, your husband gave me a mattress, which I think sounds weird, except she knew what I was talking about. She's like, oh, you got to come. You got to surprise him on the boat. So we followed her down to their boat, climbed aboard, and just had a lovely hour or so chat. Such a connected community of people. And I love that. So we're getting ready to leave the boat for a few weeks. And we've got a couple cameras that we think could give us some peace of mind. And where Dale has decided they might benefit most is to keep an eye on the bilges. But figuring out how to mount them so they can see in there is proving to be tricky. Yeah?
Yeah.
Another thing that is new to our boat for not being on it in humid places is a dehumidifier. The hose will go into the sink to collect any water. So we've strapped it to the post here. Should keep it pretty secure. Also, we bought these fans so we don't have to burn out the motors in our attached fans. These little cheaper fans that we'll put one on each side just to keep the air circulating. Because in a humid climate, if you're not running an AC or opening up doors and windows, the potential for mold growth is, it's going to happen. Tune in next time when we get the house completely ready to be rented. We have sorted and cleaned and made giveaway piles and take to the boat piles and store piles. But there's a lot of things we just can't keep in the house.
Saw a statistic that there are 300,000 objects in your house and you only use 3% of them. And the other 97% were right there.
So, but you know, you make an Asian dish that needs oyster sauce and like mirin sauce, and or a Mexican dish that needs this or that, and so you buy them, and then if it doesn't become a staple in your home, next thing you know, you look at it and it expired 3 years ago.
Yeah. You know, it's a good thing Tammy doesn't look at expiration dates, because otherwise I've been gone a long time.
Well, you know, there's that. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And we hope that you'll also subscribe to our channel. And as always, we thank you so very much for watching. Until next time.